Already with me while I tell you about my job. I am an occupational therapist and I get so many questions about this and I don't know how to answer them all, so I'm just going to try to do it all in one video. Occupation is basically anything that takes up time in your day that you need to do or want to do to be independent, and our job is to help you be as independent as possible. So if someone has a stroke or a traumatic brain injury and they suddenly can't use their right arm in the same way anymore, we will do some of that rehab to try to get that back, but we're also going to teach them adaptive ways to function in the world to be independent. So we might teach you how to tie your shoe one-handed, or how to pull on your pants or put your socks on. So we're going to teach you everything that you need to do, all your activities of daily living, your feeding, your dressing, whatever, all those things, for you to be as independent as possible. You can work with so many different kinds of people. You can work with kids with autism or Down syndrome or cerebral palsy, or, different injuries, like a brachial plexus injury or a stroke or traumatic brain injury, or someone who's been paralyzed, or people who are aging. Also, do you like that no matter how much I try, I don't know how to cover up that bruise on my nose from dropping my phone on my face? Isn't that cool? There's also mental health OTs, so anxiety, depression, hoarders. You can work with people who have diabetes or people who are trying to lose weight. You can kind of work with anyone to help them be as independent as possible. Just really quick, in therapy, you try to do this with things that they like. So I worked with a cop who had a stroke and he was really good at painting and he needed to work on hand strengthening. So we're going to incorporate painting into therapy. I work with kids, and for kids, that means it's all really play-based, because the main occupation of kids is play. So if I'm teaching a kid how to button or how to pull up his pants or how to tie shoes, I'm going to try to incorporate that into something that is more fun that they're going to like to do. I can't find my blush. That's dumb. So anyways, to become an occupational therapist, you need a master's, probably a doctorate at this point. It's more transitioning to an entry-level doctorate, not a PhD. So it's like a 1-year clinical doctorate situation. But I got my undergrad at USC, and USC had a really cool program at the time that was a 5-year bachelor's to master's. So I didn't have to reapply to grad school when I got in as a freshman. There are people who DM me all the time asking what I did to get into school. I didn't have to volunteer. I didn't have to do those things because I just was in as a freshman. So honestly, I am not going to be able to provide you the best advice as possible, but I do think that I had a severe disadvantage because I didn't have to do all the volunteer process and all the application into the grad program, because I kind of went into the grad program knowing less about OT than other people did. With that said, I went to USC and I loved USC. It is one of the top OT programs, and I truly believe if you can go there, go there. I've talked to so many employers who are I really just want to hire from USC, if we're being honest. Now I work at a pediatric outpatient clinic for kids with autism mostly and Down syndrome, working on ADL, so activities of daily living. So them dressing, them feeding themselves, buttons, zippers, all that, emotional regulation, which you can't really write goals for, but you can work on in therapy. Where I work is super flexible compared to a school where you're going to have, the summer off and you're going to have those nice things, but you're going to have set things you have to do. At my place, they gave me my schedule and I'm kind of in charge of seeing all my clients, and I see them when I'm supposed to, but if I need to go out of town, I got to go backpacking, I got to go to summer camp, I got to go on my family vacation, I just had to reschedule all of those clients. So I do think that the work-life balance is very nice. I've been asked that question before. I love how individualized it is. Every kid is different. It's always changing. You never know what to expect. Even from day to day with the same kid, they might be in a different mood. You're getting to talk to parents. It's really, really fun. And I just play and build obstacle courses and, create silly games with children all day. It is tiring, I am with humans all the time. And so if you're not someone who's good at thinking on your feet, being really creative, coming up with random stuff that doesn't make sense to get kids to do things. A couple days ago, a kid didn't want to do buttons and pretended to fall asleep for the duration of the session. I had to call it because I couldn't get him to be awake because he didn't want to do buttons so bad. But the next day I tried to do buttons a different way, and he literally was like, I love buttons. I will do buttons as many times as you ask me to. This is so fun. So you have to be able to adapt, change things up. You never know what you're going to expect, but it is really, really fun and rewarding. If you have more questions, let me know. I would love to answer them, but those are some of the basics. Already with me while I